Clay, 1970 was a great year for the Orioles, but for you personally, you'd like to have seen it another way.
Oh, I don't know, Jack. It was comforting and also satisfying to be with a group of fellows, at least for half the season, that did the job and, of course, did it very well. I have no real regrets about the season. It's the broken ankle is like it's like a thing of the past, forgotten about it. It's about like a bad dream.
Well, I'm glad to hear you say you've forgotten all about it. Is it giving you no trouble at all?
No trouble, actually. I might have gained a half a step somewhere along the way, but I've caught batting practice, and of course I've warmed up pitches. We haven't started any games yet, but it's come right along, and I have no. As a matter of fact, I'm pleasantly surprised how progress has been made on my ankle.
They crushed it right good.
Yeah, it was broken very well, and Dr. Von Kessler, who is of course a very outstanding surgeon, performed, I think, a tremendous job.
He must have done just that. It had to be a little frustrating for you at the end of last season, though you were back with the club and working with the club, to be sitting entirely on the sidelines watching the Championship Series and the World Series.
Yeah, it was. Played the year before, of course, and against the Mets, and I got to play in that one, and I certainly wanted to play in another one. The only trouble is I had 1,000 batting average, and I didn't want to ruin that.
Well, you've been described as a excellent defensive catcher, and a catcher has a lot of jobs to do. Defense is one of them. Would you say that's the most important thing, or is it handling pitchers, or is it what you can do offensively?
I think if you have a fine defensive catcher and somebody that can throw well and a good handler of pitchers, somebody that comes across well with the pitching staff and understands his pitchers, you almost have to be a mother-father to them, because each one is individually different. And you have to learn how to handle each individual case, of course, differently. But it's a plus if the guy can hit. It's a Johnny Bench is an extra, something that comes along with a job. We talk about catchers don't hit. Why don't catchers hit? There's no real reason for it. I think that probably there's a drain on catchers when they're young men and they're coming up. The mother and the father doesn't want their boy to get hurt, and they think catching is the toughest job, and so they try to keep him away from that position. That's probably one drain from catchers. And then, of course, there's another drain on catchers once they do become an outstanding hitter, and they get in the minor league system, and the organization sees that they can handle the bat so well, they say, gee, he might get a busted finger and he won't be any good to us, so let's put him out in the outfield or put him in first base. And there's another drain on good hitting catchers. So when people say nobody wants to go out for catchers, this isn't true. I think that there are a lot of outstanding boys that have probably been moved away from that position simply because they have such an outstanding bat that they're afraid that they might get hurt, and they wouldn't be any use to them if they can't hand them in the lineup every day.
Okay, I want to wish you good luck in this coming season. You contribute to this ball club, and they know it.
Thank you very much, Jack.